Hey guys, Nananki here bringing you another Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary. Today I was playing on Hightower, and I started out playing as Pyro, and I finished up playing as Heavy, and it was an interesting round, and I felt like there was a lot of good lesson moments contained within this round, which is a nice way to say that I screwed up a lot of times, and hopefully I can teach you how not to screw up like me. You know, right off the bat there, got a lucky crit on the demo running away, and didn't burn to death, but he did get blown up by a grenade, so at least I contributed to that before I got gunned down by the Heavy, who I didn't see at all. And could this be the same Heavy here? I'm not entirely sure, but he turned around and noticed me coming, and here's my mistake moment. You know, I pulled out the shotgun, because I do so like the shotgun, but it had no shots in it. I had just emptied the thing. If I just kept the flamethrower out in the first place, that Pyro had next to no health, and I would have burned him to death and probably been able to kill the medic after that. Trying to pick your moment to come out of a hiding spot like that when you're pinned down by a Heavy, and you know you've only got seconds till he comes around the corner. Your only hope is to get some kind of distraction from your teammates at the last second. Even though I do manage to burn this spy to death, it probably would have been more prudent to just air blast him off the ledge, but instead I was just trying to chase him at an angle where I caught him with enough of the fire. That's one of the only things you can't dead ring out of, in fact, as far as I'm aware. You know, headshots, backstabs, all that is within the realm of escapability, but cliffs are undeniable in their finality. So, rolling back out this time with a demo man, a friend of mine as a matter of fact, I figured I will just run distraction. In fact, I was talking to this friend of mine at the time, and I was saying to him at that moment, I'm just going to charge straight in, and hopefully they will just focus on me. And that's pretty much exactly what happened. Pyros really have a way of getting people's attention. I thought for sure I'd get this guy off the ledge with an air blast, but he was like, no, this fight's done. I'm done with fighting. The cliff is where I'm going. I'm actually pretty sure he was trying to back into the doorway, and it was just not quite sure about where exactly he was standing. And when I saw the soldier coming out, I was like, oh, I need to air blast rockets away from my team. If I can manage to just keep projectiles away from this little cluster that I'm a part of and put people out when they're on fire, then, you know, hopefully we'll make some good progress with the cart. Getting around this corner, though, is just lethal. Right here I got a little bit ahead of my group, and I kind of got detached from him, and I wasn't sure if the scout was following me. I figured I'd come up here and get more health, or at least see what was up here, and there was a sentry, and the scout was following me, and he blew me away. Darn that Girardi. And persistent scouts. And I'm pretty sure that's not me. And I don't make the same mistake twice. This time, I'm like, you are going off the cliff. No air strafing for you. I've got enough ammo. You're going off this cliff. I'll use all my ammo to push you off this cliff. I'm getting shot from the left there, but I figured the heavy medic pair, and then I looked again and it was like, oh no, that's an enemy heavy. And our medic had Uber and did not pop, and that's just disappointing. As a medic, even if it means just saving yourself, it's always better to just pop the Uber, because you never know what will come of it. You never know. I've seen amazing things come from, you know, popped in haste Ubers because I was cornered, or, you know, my healing buddy got a headshot right at the moment I was about to hit the Uber, and it's like, oh. But at the same time, you know, you're stuck and you've got to just make do. You know, you turn around and Uber the closest person. If that means you're Ubering the closest Pyro or the closest sniper, so be it. And I should have noticed that Heavy the first time I spun around, but it didn't even matter because the scout's the one who took me out. Me and my friend Galactic President Superstar switched to Heavy Medic pair to go and try to see what we could accomplish with that, because both carts had been sitting pretty stagnant for a while. We were having a hell of a time getting around this corner, and I realized I was standing on somebody's head, but luckily Finn gunned him down for me. Upon review, it looked like a demo night, but at this time I didn't even see him. I built up some cliff karma. I was due. You know, turnabout is fair play, and off the cliff I go. Yeah. It just feels awful to get knocked off cliffs. Just why it feels so good to knock other people off cliffs. It's like the same way you kind of feel like, kind of dastardly when you backstab people, like especially snipers or something, when they just have no expectation of it coming if there haven't been any spies in the round up to that point. It's like, oh, you just don't even know to expect me. You know, after that point, they might be real attentive, but if there haven't been any spies for minutes, you know, what are the odds? And at that range, the stun from the bonk is negligible at best. It's enough to get away, but not really enough to charge up, shoot, and then get away. And I didn't feel like I had time to shoot all those stickies, so I was like, you know, follow me, doctor. I figured we'll get the sentry gun from up here, and my medic is taking damage, and it's from this other medic. So he's already been meleeed twice. Luckily, neither one was a crit. I blew up the teleporters thinking I'd be able to pick those up for metal, but I've kind of got to retreat here because I want to have full health before I go around the corner, full overheal, otherwise I'm going to get blown away by the sentries. There are more people out there. I am bonked again down to 60 health, out of ammo, but luckily on the server when you kill an engineer he drops an ammo pack, so I've got 200 ammo once again. The Uber is popped, and moving into the enemy's ranks I managed to kill pretty much everybody here in a nice little run. And unfortunately, I figured with the rest of my team kind of behind me, I wouldn't get backstabbed and I could look behind the cart, but I thought about it in retrospect, and that was the same Pyro that I had killed earlier, or I should say Pyro disguised spy. And in fact, there he is again with the white face, and that stands out somewhat. When you're disguising as someone with a really unique hat, or an unusual hat for that matter, you're going to stand out a lot more so than if you disguise as someone who is not unique. Oh, and gotta love those random crits. Sometimes they work for you, sometimes against you. And you can always tell who you're disguised as because it tells you the name of the person at the bottom of the screen there, along with what weapon you're currently pretending to hold. And if you switch between your weapons and then hit B, or at least I believe that's the default button for it, the redisguise button, then you will pull out the different weapon. If you're going up to pretend in front of an Engie, like that you are not in fact a spy, and you switch weapons and then start reloading, for example, then that's really convincing. You will usually convince most people with that kind of display. But I should talk more about Heavy, and how you gotta move in carefully. You are, a big powerful tank, but it's so easy still to lose your medic or get swarmed by the enemy because you are a damage magnet, and a spy magnet too for that matter. You've really got to watch your back and watch every direction. Be careful when you move in. I like to stick toward the edges of areas if possible, so that you've only got 180 degrees to watch, ideally, but not up against the wall so much so that you will get hit by explosives. Like right here, standing far enough forward that the grenades going past me do not damage me, and I'm trying to make sure that sniper didn't kill me either, and that's why I was kind of keeping my bullets trained on him. Right now I'm just watching my team's back so they can get up the final climb to the last point. It doesn't even matter if I can't shoot that sniper, or soldier, because we have got the point. My buddy Galactic President Superstar with the second place score, and I would say equal MVP, because medics are the most important players always. Thank you so much for watching. I do greatly appreciate it as always, and I will catch you next time. Peace.